Why do some women choose to live alone, without a man by their side? It's not loneliness or lack. It's a quiet revolution against a world that says they're incomplete. These women aren't lost. They're forging a path to freedom most dare not tread. Their solitude isn't emptiness. It's a sanctuary of self-discovery, a defiance of the myth that a woman's worth lies in a partner. This truth stings, unraveling everything we're taught about love and need. With raw courage and piercing clarity, we'll uncover why these women spark both awe and unease. You've felt that pull, haven't you? That whisper urging you to choose yourself. Through Jung's wisdom and unflinching honesty, we'll explore their power. This isn't just a story, it's a mirror. Are you ready to see yourself? Let's dive into the truth. You've heard the whispers, haven't you? The ones that label a woman living alone as broken, lonely, or waiting for rescue. Society clings to a tired script. A woman without a man is a puzzle missing a piece. But what if that's a lie? What if her solitude isn't absence, but a bold act of presence? These women aren't hiding from love, they're rewriting its meaning. They've dismantled the myth that a woman's value hinges on a partner's gaze. And that truth? It's a blade, cutting through centuries of conditioning. Picture her, a woman who wakes to her own rhythm, not the demands of another. She's not cold, she's deliberate. Not distant, she's discerning. Carl Jung once said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." This woman is claiming that privilege, stepping into her own light without apology. She's not running from connection. She's rejecting what diminishes her. The world calls her selfish, but she's learned that self-love isn't a crime, it's a foundation. She's not waiting for a savior. She's become her own. This choice unnerves people. Why? Because it defies control. A woman who doesn't need a relationship to feel whole challenges the scaffolding of tradition. She's not begging for love, she's choosing it. And that shift from need to choice is seismic. It's not about rejecting men, it's about embracing herself. She's walked through the fire of societal judgment phrases like too picky or you'll end up alone, and emerged with a quiet fire in her eyes. She's not alone, she's with herself. And that's a distinction most miss. Jung spoke of the shadow, those parts of ourselves we deny. For many, this woman is a mirror to that shadow. She embodies what others secretly crave, the courage to stand alone, to need no one's permission to exist. Her solitude isn't a void, it's a canvas, painted with her own desires, fears, and dreams. She's not screaming for attention, she's whispering her truth. And that whisper carries more weight than 1,000 demands. It's the sound of a woman who's faced her ghosts, childhood wounds, past betrayals, loves that left her smaller and chosen to heal. You've felt that pull, haven't you? That quiet urge to stop performing, to stop shrinking. Maybe you've been told your worth lies in being chosen, that solitude is failure. But look at her. She's not failing, she's flourishing. Her home isn't empty. It's a sanctuary where she meets herself daily. She's learned that love isn't a transaction, not a plea for validation. It's a mutual overflow, not a bandage for wounds. And until that love arrives, she's whole. Not half, not waiting, whole. This woman's power lies in her refusal to settle. She's tasted chaos loves that demanded she dim her light, relationships that asked her to trade her soul for scraps. She's done begging. Her no is now a sacred boundary, carved from years of giving too much. She's not unreachable, she's selective, seeking a connection that honors her fullness. And that scares a world addicted to half measures. Because when a woman chooses herself, she becomes a force, a quiet storm that reshapes everything. Have you ever dared to choose yourself like that? To stand in your own truth, even when it's misunderstood, that's where her story begins. And maybe, just maybe, it's where yours does too. What does it take to choose solitude over a world screaming for connection? It's not defiance, it's courage. The woman who lives alone has walked a path most avoid, the descent into her own shadow. Carl Jung called the shadow the hidden parts of ourselves, fears, wounds, truths we bury. She's faced hers, and that's why she stands so tall. You see, her solitude isn't escape, it's confrontation. She's met the ghosts of her past loves that scarred her, expectations that caged her, voices that said she wasn't enough, and in that darkness, she found light. This journey isn't gentle. It's raw, jagged, a tearing away of masks. She's sifted through childhood pain, unspoken betrayals, moments she gave too much and got too little. Society tells her to seek love outward, but she turned inward, mining her soul for answers. That's where she found it, the strength to say no to what shrinks her. You've felt that ache, haven't you? The weight of carrying others' expectations, of bending to fit their molds. She felt it too until she refused. Her solitude is a forge, shaping her into something unbreakable. She's not cold, she's healed. Not distant, she's deliberate. Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life." She's done that work, unraveling the threads of neediness disguised as love, of approval mistaken for worth. She's learned that true love doesn't demand, she shrink, it amplifies her. And until it arrives, she's enough. That's not arrogance, it's clarity, earned through tears and triumphs. The world misreads her. They see her alone and call it lack, but she's not missing anything, she's reclaiming everything. Her home is a temple, not a void. Each choice to stay in, to say no, to prioritize herself is a brick in the fortress of her soul. She's not waiting for someone to fill her, she's overflowing with her own presence. That scares people. Why? Because it upends the lie that a woman needs a man to be whole. Her wholeness is a mirror, reflecting back the fears of those still chasing external fixes. You know that feeling, don't you? The quiet pull to stop performing, to stop proving. She's answered it, not with fanfare, but with quiet resolve. She's not rejecting love, she's redefining it. She wants a connection that sees her, not one that saves her. And that takes courage, because it means standing alone, sometimes for years, trusting her own worth. Her solitude isn't a punishment. It's a vow to never betray herself again. Have you ever considered what it would mean to make that vow? To face your own shadow and emerge not broken, but whole? That's her power, and it's calling you to find yours. She says no, and the world flinches. A woman who lives alone, without a man, isn't just choosing solitude, she's staging a revolution. Her refusal to settle isn't rebellion, it's reverence for her own soul. She's not rejecting love, she's rejecting its counterfeit relationships that demand she dim her fire for someone else's comfort. Carl Jung said, "Where love rules, there is no will to power." She's learned this truth, refusing to trade her power for promises that crumble. Her no is a sacred boundary, forged in the ashes of loves that left her hollow. You've seen her, haven't you? The woman who walks away from half-hearted offers, who chooses her peace over chaos. She's not picky, she's precise. Society scoffs, labeling her difficult, but she's simply done with loves that feel like cages. She's tasted the bitterness of giving too much, of bending until she broke. Now, her refusal is her strength. She wants reciprocity, not rescue, presence, not performance. And that clarity terrifies a world hooked on superficial bonds. Her revolution isn't loud. It's in the quiet way she closes doors, not with anger, but with dignity. Each no is a step toward freedom, a declaration that she'd rather be alone than invisible. Jung taught that true individuation, becoming whole, requires facing the tension of opposites. She's done that, balancing her longing for connection with her need for authenticity. She's not waiting for a prince. She's building her own kingdom. Her solitude is a rebellion against a culture that equates a woman's worth with a partner's presence. You've felt that tension, haven't you? The pressure to say yes, to fit in, to be enough for someone else. She felt it too, until she realized her worth doesn't need external validation. Her home isn't a waiting room. It's a sanctuary where she crafts her own story. She's not running from love, she's running toward herself. And that scares those who thrive on control, who fear a woman who doesn't need saving. Her refusal exposes their fragility, their need for her to need them. This woman's power lies in her discernment. She's learned that love isn't a race, it's a choice. She's not afraid of being alone. She's afraid of losing herself again. That fear has become her compass, guiding her away from shallow promises and toward depth. Her revolution isn't just personal, it's collective. By choosing herself, she lights a path for others, showing that a woman's value isn't tied to a man's approval. Have you ever dared to say no, not out of spite, but out of loyalty to yourself? That's her rebellion, and it's inviting you to join. Her solitude is no cage, it's a cathedral. The woman who lives alone without a man has crafted a sanctuary, not a shelter from the world. Society sees her empty spaces and whispers, lonely, but she knows the truth. Her solitude is a throne of freedom. Within those quiet walls, she's not hiding, she's reigning. Every moment alone is a brushstroke on the canvas of her soul, painting strength from silence. Carl Jung said, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed." She's chosen to transform herself first, diving into her depths before inviting another. That choice is her crown, unseen by those who measure worth by partnership. You've been taught to dread solitude, haven't you? To see it as a void, a flaw. But she's rewritten the story. Her solitude is a masterpiece, etched with unapologetic truth. She's not waiting for someone to fill her days. She's filling them with her own essence. Her mornings belong to her, unshackled by another's demands. Her nights are a ritual of self-discovery, not a stage for approval. This isn't absence, it's presence so fierce, it rattles a world that insists women need others to stand tall. She's known love that consumes, that demands she shrink to fit. She's poured herself into relationships until her edges frayed, given until her core splintered, but she awoke. Not with resentment, but with clarity. She learned love shouldn't cost her soul. So, she built a sanctuary not to bar the world, but to guard her wholeness. Jung taught that wholeness comes from embracing our shadows. She's faced hers, past wounds, societal pressures, the fear of being too much, and emerged radiant. Her sanctuary is where she meets herself, daily, without compromise. You've tasted that peace, haven't you? That fleeting moment when you stop striving and just are. She lives there, by choice, not chance. Her solitude is deliberate, a refusal to let the world define her worth. She's not cold, she's clear. Not distant, she's devoted to her growth. The world calls her choosy, but she simply learned her value. She seeks a love that amplifies her, not one that confines her. Until it arrives, she's whole, not half, not waiting. Her sanctuary isn't a placeholder, it's a testament to her power. Her solitude stirs awe and unease. Awe, because she proves you can thrive without external validation. Unease, because she mirrors the fears of those tethered to relationships for identity. She doesn't need to be chosen, she chooses herself. That's not pride, it's authenticity. Jung said, "What irritates us about others can lead us to understand ourselves." She unsettles those who haven't faced their shadows, who see her solitude as a challenge. But she's not here to judge, she's here to be. Have you ever longed for such a sanctuary? A space where you answer only to your soul? She's built it, brick by brick, with every refusal of what dims her light. Her solitude isn't retreat, it's revolution. It declares she's whole, not lacking. That wholeness is her gift to herself and a world still learning freedom's true meaning. What would it feel like to claim your own sanctuary, to choose yourself unapologetically? Her story whispers, you can. She loves herself, and that's her rebellion. The woman who lives alone without a man isn't searching for love, she's cultivating it within. Society calls her selfish, but she's discovered a truth they fear. Self-love isn't vanity, it's alchemy. It transforms wounds into wisdom, lack into abundance. Carl Jung said, "Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakes." She's awake, her heart a crucible where she's forged her own worth. She's not chasing approval, she's crafting a bond with herself that no one can break. This isn't arrogance, it's liberation, a refusal to let her value hinge on another's gaze. You've been told self-love is indulgent, haven't you? That it's secondary to loving others. But she's rewritten that lie. Her mornings are rituals of care, not rush. Her choices, books she reads, meals she savors, silences she honors, are acts of devotion to her soul. She's not filling a void, she's overflowing with her own light. This self-love isn't loud or boastful. It's quiet, steady, a flame that doesn't flicker in the world's judgment. She's learned that loving herself isn't a prelude to love, it's the foundation. Her journey to this alchemy wasn't easy. She's walked through deserts of doubt, where voices hers, societies whispered she wasn't enough alone. She's known loves that demanded she shrink, that offered crumbs disguised as feasts. But she broke free, not with anger, but with clarity. Each disappointment taught her to turn inward, to nurture the parts of herself she once neglected. Jung's individuation becoming whole by embracing all parts of oneself is her map. She's faced her shadows, fears of rejection, scars of betrayal, the weight of being too much. And in that crucible, she found gold, her own unyielding worth. You've felt that spark, haven't you? That quiet urge to stop seeking and start being. She lives there, choosing herself daily. Her solitude isn't isolation, it's intimacy with her own soul. She's not closed to love, she's open to the kind that honors her fullness. The world misreads her, calling her distant, but she's simply selective. She wants a partner who's done their own inner work, who brings presence, not promises. Until then, she's complete, her self-love a shield against those who dim her shine. This alchemy unsettles the world. A woman who loves herself without apology challenges the script that says she needs a man to feel whole. Her confidence is a mirror, reflecting the discomfort of those still seeking external fixes. Jung said, "The greatest burden a child must bear is the unlived life of the parent." She refuses to pass on that burden, breaking cycles of dependency. Her self-love is a revolution, inspiring others to question why they settle for less. She's not here to preach, she's here to embody. Have you ever dared to love yourself like that? To see your own heart as enough? Her alchemy is an invitation to stop waiting, to stop shrinking, to start becoming. She's not perfect, she's human, with doubts and dreams. But she's learned that self-love isn't about perfection, it's about presence. Her solitude is where she polishes her soul, preparing not for a savior, but for a love that matches her depth. What would it feel like to ignite that alchemy within you? To choose yourself, not as a last resort, but as a sacred act? Her story whispers. The greatest love begins when you dare to be enough. She walks alone, but her steps echo. The woman who lives without a man isn't just living, she's leaving a legacy. Her solitude is a beacon, illuminating a path for others to follow. She's not merely surviving, she's rewriting what it means to thrive. Carl Jung said, "As far as we can discern, the sole purpose of human existence is to kindle a light in the darkness of mere being." She's kindled that light, not for applause, but for truth. Her life is proof. A woman's worth isn't tied to a partner, it's woven into her soul. Her legacy isn't in who she loves, but in how fiercely she loves herself. You've seen her light, haven't you? It's in the way she moves unhurried, unapologetic. She's not here to fit molds or soothe egos. She's here to break cycles, to challenge the story that says a woman alone is less. Her solitude is a revolution, not because it's loud, but because it's true. She's faced the world's judgment, too picky, too independent, and answered with a quiet smile. That smile holds centuries of wisdom, the kind that says, "I am enough." It's not defiance, it's destiny. Her journey is Jung's individuation embodied, a descent into the self, a reckoning with shadows, a return to wholeness. She's unraveled the lies, love as possession, worth as performance, and emerged with clarity. She's not close to love, she's open to the kind that liberates. Until it arrives, she's complete, her presence a challenge to a world that fears women who need no saving. Her legacy is this. She's shown that solitude isn't loss, it's liberation. That self-love isn't selfish, it's sacred. You've felt that call, haven't you? That stirring to stop chasing and start becoming. She's not just a woman alone, she's a mirror, reflecting your own potential. Her light exposes the chains we wear, the need for approval, the fear of being too much. She doesn't preach, she lives. And in living, she invites you to question, why settle for crumbs when you can claim a feast? Why shrink when you can expand? Her legacy isn't in words, it's in the courage to choose herself again and again. This woman's light doesn't dim, it ignites. It sparks questions in those who see her, stirring unease in those who cling to old scripts. Jung said, "The greatest sin is to remain unconscious." She's awake, and her awakening is contagious. She's not here to save you, she's here to show you that you can save yourself. Her solitude is a call to action, to face your shadows, to love your depths, to carve your own path. Have you ever dared to walk that path? To choose yourself, not as a fallback, but as a vow? Her legacy lives in every woman who sees her and feels a spark. It's in you, right now, as you listen. If her story stirs something deep, don't let it fade. Share this truth with others who need to remember their own light. Like, comment, subscribe, not out of habit, but out of choice. Because when a woman chooses herself, she doesn't just change her life, she changes the world. Will you carry her light forward? Will you dare to kindle your own? The choice is yours. And that choice, made in truth, is your legacy.